Hello my fellow fasting foodie friend, welcome to part 2 of Q&A. I had so many questions that I had to break this into a 2-part series. If you missed part 1, it's not really one that you have to watch before you watch this one, but it was where I got ready for the day. Now I'm gonna do my nails and we're gonna go over the rest of the questions. So let's go. These were all questions asked on my YouTube community tab. You guys had lots of questions and I'm giving you lots of answers. So the first question is, do I ever feel like I ate too much? Like for instance on my up days, and that this person, Hannah, says she feels like she struggles when she eats too much when she has an up day. And Angela says she has the same thing, mostly around her cycle. So before I answer that, I'm just gonna tell you guys, I'm going to be like using my little nail Dremel and roughing up the inside of my fake nails. I have no idea what I'm doing here with fake nails, by the way, so this is an experiment, okay? And I'm also gonna be like roughing up the inside of mine, or on my own nail buds. But yes, I do sometimes feel like I eat too much. And I don't really let it bother me, not because I'm like proud of it or I think it's a good thing, but I feel like it's a learning tool. So if I feel like I eat too much, I kind of just pay attention to that feeling. So if you say we ate, I ate lunch and then I ate a large snack and then I had dinner and then I snacked again after dinner and I had a dessert. That night I'm probably not gonna feel the best, but I need to sometimes have those feelings and feel the difference between how good I feel on a normal OMAD day and how good I feel on a normal eating window. And when I have the comparison of not feeling good and eating too much, it's definitely an incentive to not keep repeating those behaviors. And even though I eat what I like, what I want, when I want it, I'm all about change and I'm definitely about growth and doing better for myself. So if I hit a point where it's like, yeah, I can eat what I want, but I've realized that I don't feel very good when I eat hot lattes. That's one thing that I really have noticed is I don't like to drink warm lattes anymore. They don't make me feel good. Yeah, they might taste good, but I don't feel good when I have them. I'm not gonna continue to choose them. So that's kind of how I feel about eating too much on an up day, is I am molding my behaviors by good choices that I make, but also by learning from not feeling good. So when I eat too much on an up day, I am less likely to continue making that same choice. I definitely agree that I eat more on as my period's about to start, when my cycle is starting, my appetite generally increases with that and I'll eat more. And does that mean that every single time I feel gross, I learn from it and I make better choices the next time? Definitely not. I would like to say that I am perfect, but I'm not. Surprise, surprise. But I definitely take the days where I feel like I maybe overate as a learning tool, and I hope to not keep repeating the same process. So that's how I handle it. Angela says she'd like to know, how is fasting during my monthly cycle and checking your keto levels? I don't ever check my keto levels when it has anything to do with my cycle, so I really don't have any relationship to share between the two of those. But fasting for my cycle, I can almost always tell that my period's about to start based on I will get really hungry. Like I can tell a hunger difference right around 18 hours. And I'm always wanting to have longer eating windows right before my period starts. I don't really notice much changes once my period has actually started, but maybe the first day I'll feel a little hungrier, but my biggest changes come increased hunger before my cycle starts. And that is even 2.5, well not a half, but over 2 years into my fasting, it still is that way. And so the final question that Angela asks is, do I know why keto levels would drop dramatically during your cycle? And I have no idea, and I'm sorry, I don't have any idea on that. Curious Cat says, Jackie, you are now in maintenance intermittent fasting. What did your meals look like when my aim was weight loss? And how did I fast? Did I do alternate day fasting, OMAD, etc.? So I do consider myself in maintenance. I am no longer trying to lose weight. With that being said, if my weight did drop, I have excess weight. I'm not at a like size 0 or anything, but I'm not at a point where I'm willing to make changes to lose more weight. My schedule actually looks very, very similar. I did OMAD when I was losing weight, and I did 1 down day a week and 1 up day following the down day. The only difference is I do try to do a down day and an up day regularly still. However, I am much less rigid about it. But I did maintain OMAD, and the entire time I made sure that my minimum fast was 18 hours, and that hasn't changed. So my maintenance looks very similar to my weight loss. Just gonna cure my nails for 30 seconds a piece. So the next question is asking how to prevent slowing your metabolism while fasting. And I think that is properly fueling in all your eating windows, making sure that you're eating enough. You don't want your body to think you're starving yourself. And I think when you do things like down days, making sure that you have enough food on the up day that your body realizes, oh, okay, even if there's times of restriction, like a down day or a longer fast, it's also gonna feel that the up day is going to make up for it and that you're going to refeed yourself, so it doesn't feel like you're going to be starving. I don't feel like my metabolism has negatively been impacted from fasting, but I also haven't done anything extremely specific other than making sure when I do down days that I have up days. I haven't done anything else to quote unquote protect my metabolism. The next question, ooh, this is a really unflattering view. Sorry about that. The next question is, will having bone broth break a fast? And yes, I would consider that breaking a fast. I know there are some people who do more of like a keto fasting and consider bone broth to not break a fast or under certain calories. That's not how I practice it. I basically, if it's not water or a mineral, or coffee, or natural teas, I don't have it in my eating window, or I would consider it breaking my fast. So I would definitely not consume bone broth as part of my fasting regimen, but that is kind of a personal thing, and maybe it works for you and you can find success with it. It's just not what I do or what I would promote either. Okay, so now my nails have the gel base that is cured, and we're gonna go on to the next step where I'm painting the gel base in my nail and sticking it on. I've literally never done press on nails before, but I saw this on TikTok and I wanted to give it a try. And I like trying new things. And I have always wanted to do my nails. I'm just too cheap to get them done. Okay, so I'm gonna be looking down doing this. I'll be sharing with you sort of process, but Veronica asks, is it normal to not lose weight in the beginning of intermittent fasting? Yes, it was not my experience, so it's hard for me to have a lot of, I feel bad always answering this because I've heard from a lot of people that it's normal, but it obviously wasn't my experience. So I know it's easy to say, keep going, don't give up, but also that wasn't what I had to do. I got to feel the benefits of fasting without having to, oh my gosh, this is not working. Without having to not lose weight. And I know that that makes it easier for me to say keep going when I never had to keep going myself. Like, I was actually losing weight, which makes it a lot easier. Yes, a lot of people do fasting and they don't lose weight. There are a lot of things that your body could be adjusting and adapting to. And if it's, for instance, I'm trying to think, maybe you need to deplete your glycogen stores. You need to deplete the things that are already in your system rather than lose weight. Like, that might not be your first mode of attack, is to get rid of fat. There might be visceral fat your body is trying to get rid of. It might, there could be a lot of reasons why you're not losing weight at the beginning. And I didn't have to do a lot of research into that, but I know a lot of people start off and don't lose weight at the very beginning because your body is adjusting to a lot of things. And you have to kind of get through the adjustment phase maybe before you lose weight. Oh. Okay, so the Credit Princess asks, how do I deal with headaches while I'm fasting? So first of all, if it's electrolyte based, some people feel like they taking electrolytes in their eating window will help them to not get headaches. I don't have that issue. Mine is more leg cramp based. We've talked about that, but I dropped my nail. I'm back. Taking electrolytes could help. The other thing, if I need to address a headache, I will, without apology, take ibuprofen. I will take ibuprofen, I will take pain medicine if I need to, and I have no apologies, no issues, nothing with that. Again, I'm not a medical professional, and I'm not telling you that taking ibuprofen on an empty stomach or a stomach of coffee is the best idea. It's just literally what I do. Okay, so Lisa says she's a Diet Coke addict. Why haven't you really told us how awesome plain sparkling water really is? No wonder all of these is always out. I think I love about Diet Coke is the burn of the carbonation. Me too, that's why I love sparkling water. So she says, at the time of this post, I'm 2 days clean from Diet Coke. Good for you. But yes, Aldi water is amazing. I love it. I drink the Belvies, and then in part 1 I discussed also their Italian mineral water. I don't drink that as much because it's more expensive and it's not as big, but the Belvie plain waters I do really love. Guys, I can't get this one to stick, and now of course these are on my finger and I can't get the rest of them on. So you know what, I'm gonna stop doing my nails and I'm just gonna answer the rest of the questions, and then maybe someday I will do the rest of my nails. Okay. Does the hunger while fasting go away? At what point does fasting get easier? Have you tried, do you get tired after your meal, and when does the tired feeling go away? Okay, so Jesse asked those questions. I didn't film my first 4 weeks of fasting because I never planned to make this an intermittent fasting channel. But yes, I 100% got tired after all my meals for weeks. I don't remember exactly when it changed because, again, I wasn't planning to like make this my identity, was a fasting person. That's what happened because I loved it so much. But I think it took me probably 5 or 6 weeks before I really found it to be easy. But every day felt a little better, a little less unknown. The thing that really helped me adjust wasn't not being hungry, and it wasn't it being easy, it was loving my eating window. So really enjoying the foods in my eating window made it worth the sacrifice. So yes, while I was hungry or it was hard to wait, I also knew I was really gonna enjoy the eating window, which then made the sacrifice easier. So it never became a point where it was like, wow, this is the easiest thing I've ever done. But it was, wow, this sacrifice is worth the benefit of really enjoying the eating window. That was kind of the mindset shift I had. And then once I really enjoyed the eating windows, it made the sacrifice not seem really that bad because I no longer felt bad about what I was eating. Maggie wanna know, how many down days during the week do you do? I do it once a week, maximum. So I say maximum. Every once in a while, if like I want 2 up days, I'll do 2 down days. But for the most part, I plan it once a week, once every 2 weeks. In a perfect world, I would do it once a week. Ginger says, how many 20-hour fasts should I do a week, and do you break your fast with certain foods? So I don't ever aim to get 24-hour fast. It's just more about my schedule. So if I eat an earlier dinner one night, then a 24-hour fast is kind of natural if I eat later the next day. I wouldn't aim to get a certain amount, maybe once a week. Just try if it's something that's important to you. And I like to break my fast with protein foods that are really delicious. I like, one thing I've really enjoyed recently is cauliflower and ranch. Fresh cauliflower, fresh broccoli, ranch has been hitting the spot lately. Or make a ranch dip out of Greek yogurt, which is high in protein. I also love chili lime pistachios. I love pepitas, scrambled eggs, and cottage cheese, or a bowl of cottage cheese with pepper and salt on it, or everything in the bagel seasoning. Those are some of my favorite window openers that are high protein, and they actually help me to not crave sugar. So I've really been enjoying that. And every time I open my eating window, it doesn't mean it's super intentional, but those are some of my favorites. Andrea says, once she breaks her fast, all she does is eat. So she doesn't have a hard time fasting. It's just stopping when she opens her window. How do I get a healthy mindset? It's not helping me if I can't get my mind and body on the same page. And someone else said she started fasting with Whole30 and that's what helped her break a plateau. The first thing that makes me wonder is, are you restricting foods? So are you getting that kind of binge feeling because you're trying not to eat, or is just the timing what's making you do that? I would read, if I had a suggestion for you, I would read Appetite Correction by Dr. Bert Herring. He actually talks about this phenomenon of when you start fasting and then you want to eat everything in sight, and how just go with it. It's going to eventually fade. That was my experience. I very, very rarely open my eating window and feel like I can't stop eating, but it was pretty normal when I started fasting. And I think that's just kind of your body making like kind of self-preservation, like food's available, let's eat. That feeling of, I don't want to say binging because that's an actual disorder, but the feeling of overeating or can't stop eating. I always call myself like a vacuum, like just pull it all in. That feeling does eventually go away for the most part. It's not something that's part of my eating window every single day. But I also didn't really fret about it because I knew it was something, I read that it was something to expect, so I expected it and I knew it would go away. Can just help you deal with it easier if you expect it to be that way for a while. Webster Doris says, since sugar is a killer, would you consider eating less for health reasons? Certainly don't eat as much sugar as often as I could. So because I eat sugar, I wonder if you're thinking that I don't ever not eat sugar. Here's a for instance. I drove past my favorite donut shop, Sweetwater's Donut Mill, on my way home from meeting my husband for lunch today, and I did not stop and get a donut, even though in my mind I thought, oh, I know they have their new pumpkin fall flavors. That sounds really good. But I also made the conscious decision like, I had a donut last week. I really don't need one. We're gonna be getting ice cream tonight. So I'm very mindful of my choices. Part of it is I don't want to be too full to eat dinner. I also know that I'm having ice cream later and I don't want to have both of them. And it's not from a restrictive, I can't do it because sugar is going to kill me mindset, but it's from a wellness and overall objective. So yes, there is thought that goes into my sugar consumption. I don't eat sugar every time it crosses my mind. Do I ever think that I will not eat sugar because sugar is evil? Probably not. And if I ever cut out sugar completely from my diet, I don't think it would be a long-term sustainable change. When I did keto for a month, the only reason I could complete keto for a month is because I knew it was short-term. I would not choose to do that lifestyle long-term because it wasn't fun for me. Am I mindful that sugar is not the greatest choice? Yes. Do I make sure that everything that I eat isn't sugar? Yes. Will I ever eliminate it from my diet? Probably not. I love this question. Where's my watch band from? Amazon. I will link it below. I absolutely hated the Apple watch band. I didn't like the metal. I'm allergic to a lot of metals. I didn't like it on my wrist, and I didn't like snapping it and unsnapping it every time I took it off. I love this. I love the dots, and I will link it below, but yes, it's very simple to put on and off, and it's cute. How many days a week is it normal to get headaches when fasting longer periods of 18 hours? I don't know that there is a normal. I don't get headaches from fasting. I would definitely check out your electrolytes. Again, Element has sponsored videos on my channel. It's not sponsoring this video, but I do really like their products, and it's helped me in terms of leg cramps, but a lot of other people say it helps them with headaches. I would definitely consider that, or even something as simple as adding like a sprinkle of salt into your water or your coffee, I have heard is something that can help with your electrolytes. Something to consider, but I don't have a how normal it is to get headaches. I do not get headaches regularly from fasting. Your 2007 MCG asked, did I ever plateau and how did I break it? Yes, I did, and I did keto for a month and I broke through that. I got down to the low 140s, and then my weight did creep up to the high 140s to low 150s. So it helped me break a plateau doing keto. Once I stopped doing keto for a month, it was always just a short-term temporary thing. I wanted to see if it would break my plateau because I had so many comments telling me it would. It did break my plateau. It wasn't a lifestyle change that I wanted to make. It was more experimental. But I did have long-term benefits from it. I still have like low-carb snacks. I learned different low-carb things that I can incorporate into my diet. Also, my new range is like high 140s to 150. So my weight range did like naturally go down about 3 or 4 pounds overall. So I did have a long-term success from it. I also, even if my weight isn't as low as it was when I stopped keto, I am smaller than I was from the plateau break. Mackenzie asked to help understand down days and up days, and also, do I exercise regularly? I try to walk regularly, walk in my neighborhood. I've done this ever since I've lived here, so almost 15 years. I've walked in my neighborhood regularly. And then I recently just sold my elliptical, which is where I used to walk in the winter inside, but now I have an under the desk treadmill that I like to walk on. And I don't have minimums or daily goals. I don't track my steps unless I'm doing some sort of a challenge with friends. But that is what I like to do, is go on walks. I like to make it part of my day. It doesn't mean it happens every day. If I do another exercise, there's a kettlebell workout I like that I discovered during 75 Hard, but that is nowhere near a daily routine. Otherwise, I like to just be active, play basketball with my husband. We have a pool. I don't swim laps or anything, but I don't feel like I have a sedentary lifestyle either. A down day is a day where you intentionally eat less than normal. For me personally, it's either between 0 and 500 calories for a single meal. I eat it in a short time frame. So I break my fast. I fast at least 18 hours. I break my fast with a small meal on a down day. It's one meal. I generally use all 500 calories. I eat it, I close my eating window, and then I start a new fast. And then I fast again at least 18 hours before the up day. And then on the up day, I eat at least 2 meals and at least a 6-hour eating window. This is from Fast Feast Repeat. That's where I got the guidance. But it's basically a cycle. So you eat a little bit one day and then you intentionally eat more than normal. Did I experience hair loss with weight loss? Any tips for hair growth? One, there are a lot of suggestions here, just some supplements to take, collagen supplements, but no, I didn't have any hair loss issues, but I definitely would turn to supplements and talk to my healthcare provider if I did. But that wasn't an issue I faced. What? Okay, we're on take 2 of part 2. I had to stop recording yesterday when my kids came home. We had volleyball and I didn't get a chance to get back to it till this morning. Also, I gave up on the press-on nails and I just painted my nails last night. This is what I generally do. It's gel and hopefully it'll last me through Disney. But anyways, that's where I landed. The press-on nails was a horrible idea. So if I made 0 eye contact during the video, my apologies. Anyways, we're gonna try to get through all of, I just literally hit that fly, like, ugh. I'm gonna try to get through the rest of the questions. Some new ones popped up since I started doing this, and I really hope I don't miss anything. If I do, it's never my intention to like skip or miss them. I'm sorry. I'm just unorganized. The first question that popped up that I have to address is, who do I want to win Big Brother? This will come out after Big Brother has aired, so it may not age well. But personally, I really would like to see anyone but Brittany. I just haven't enjoyed watching Brittany's game, especially since Michael left. I do feel like she is a bit of a snake, but not in an entertaining way, just really in an unnecessary way. I really like Turner. I feel like he's pretty straightforward and I like that about him. He's also very entertaining to watch. Also, I like that my boy showers every other day. I personally hate showering more than every other day and I can relate to him on that. If I need it, I do shower more, but I think that is a funny thing. Turner's entertaining and he's probably the one that I would most like to see, but I'd be happy with Monty, Taylor, or Turner. I would not be happy with Brittany. So that's where it lands. I was a big Michael fan. I think he was an amazing Big Brother player. I definitely think it made sense to get him out, but I was sad to see him go. That's my thoughts on Big Brother. We'll see how this ages because it's going to be posted after Big Brother. Someone's being evicted tonight even, so. But I love Big Brother and I would so love to be on it next year. So CBS, if you're watching this, please cast me in season 25 of Big Brother. Karen said, my skin and makeup always looks beautiful. Can I share my regimen? So my part 1 of this actually has my makeup regimen. I did it on like during the Q&A. But if you want to know my skincare, I wash my face every morning and every night with a microfiber cloth with hot water. Well, like not too hot, obviously, but I just use water and a microfiber. I do make sure it's clean. I don't use cleansers, and then I use Aldi's retinol skin cream. I did share the day cream, but I use night at night, and I use the day cream in the day, and I do that every single day, even if I don't wear makeup, and that is my skincare. My skin is much better on this side than this side lately, but if you want my makeup, it's also in part 1. So there you go. Thank you for the compliment. And fasting has truly improved my skin, like a lot, but we already talked about that. Charlene has asked, she says she's 5'1" with a small frame, and according to a healthy weight guide, she should be about 105 pounds. She doesn't think that is right. She's about 135 and thinks she'd look best with 10 to 15 pounds. Maybe I'm buying too many books. What are your thoughts? So, honestly, 5'1" sounds really petite to me, and I'm 5'10", and I get down to 143, and I feel like that's pretty thin. I don't have like any breasts at that weight. I don't think it sounds unreasonable for 5'1" to be 105, but also like I don't know your body shape, and if you're happy, like if you say you're 120, you've lost the 15 pounds and you're happy, who cares what a chart says? I really would take no stock in that. If you're healthy and you're feeling good and you're feeling confident, like those are the 3 criteria I think you should be happy with. So Charlene, if 120 is where you want to be, stay there, girlfriend. That is my thought. Someone asked me to share bulk mix proportions for size, weight, gender, individual bags, and how many spoons it takes to avoid hunger symptoms. I'm sorry, Miguel, I don't have any of that information, and I certainly don't have like individual directions. Personally, the easiest thing that I could recommend is taking a single element every single day. That's been very helpful to me. They have mixing instructions, they have information on their website. It is not an area of expertise, it's just something that I've benefited from, which is why I share it frequently. But I don't have individual things based on height, weight, gender, lifestyle, any of that. I'm sorry. And I do feel bad when I can't like properly address a question, but at the same time, I'm literally never going to tell you guys something that I feel like I'm unqualified or unable to speak on. There's literally no benefit to either of us for me to make up items. Janet asked, when I was trying to lose weight, did I eat cleaner? That I seem to eat whatever I please, which is true, and she has quite a bit to lose. She's doing OMAD, 23 hours fasting, 1 hour eating, between 5 and 6 p.m. every day. She's contemplating going a longer couple hours a week. She has cut out sugars and processed food. So here's the thing. Part of my approach has to do with my personality, that when I restrict foods and I don't allow myself to eat certain foods, I am more likely to binge on them later or to say screw it to a diet. I can follow any set of rigid rules for a certain finite amount of time, and then I kind of self-implode. I've done that with Weight Watchers, I've done that with diet bets, I've done that with calorie restrictions, I do that with working out. I can follow something to a T, but I eventually burn out. Yes, even when I was losing weight, I ate whatever I pleased. And that is one of the things that allowed me to keep going, to adjust to intermittent fasting, and to really fall in love with this lifestyle. I eat everyday foods every day without apology and with enthusiasm because it's something I can do long term. Someone asking if they should open their eating, if they do something like licking peanut butter off their finger, would I open my eating window or would I ignore it and keep fasting? So here's the answer. Could it potentially break your fast? Yes, it could. The flavors, depending on if you popped an entire strawberry in your mouth as you're dicing strawberries, there are things like that that are going to be habitual that you're going to mess up on, and eventually you'll get through them. Personally, here's what I would do. If I lick peanut butter off my finger and then I realize I'm not eating right now, I would just keep fasting. I would also understand that it might make me feel hungry. The flavor in your mouth, whatever you ingested, might make you feel like you're about to eat and might make it harder. At that point, you have a choice. You can open your eating window and then move on the next day and just keep training yourself not to do such things. Or you could just say, okay, I screwed up, the end of my fast might be a little harder, and I would do something like open a fizzy water and replace that. Like, so then fill your stomach on the water, have a cup of iced tea, a fresh cup of coffee. That's personally how I would handle it. And you're probably gonna feel so bad about it. Not that you should, but it's probably gonna like tick you off enough that you're not gonna keep doing it all the time. Janet asks, do I use MCT in my coffee, and if so, during fasting or your eating window? I have never used MCT. I have no familiarity with it. Jana, I think, asks, how long do I sleep as it affects weight loss, and why did I stop keto? So first of all, I generally get about 6 to 7 hours a night of sleep. I know I probably could get a little longer. 6.5 feels actually pretty good to me. I like to stay up later, 11:30 to midnight, going to bed, and waking up at 6:30 is my standard during the week. And why did I stop keto? Keto for me was always 100% intentionally a test. I never did it long term. I wasn't trying it as a lifestyle. I know a lot of people like to do keto with intermittent fasting, and I think that's amazing. I'm just personally not that person. I want to eat all the foods. Anthea, I probably said that wrong, sorry. What type of watch do you wear that has the fasting app? So I have an Apple Watch. I absolutely love it. The 7th generation, I think, and I use the Zero app, the free version on my phone, and it's compatible with your watch as well. Lovebug says, how many children do you have? She mentions she knows that I have a vegetarian. Which child is it, and how old are their ages, and how long have you and your husband been together? What state do I live in, and do I want more children? So there's a lot of questions to unpack here. First of all, my husband and I have been together since 2004, so 19 years here soon. Valentine's Day was our first date, and so we're almost at 19 years. We've been married for almost 15 years. We have 3 children. I have a daughter, 12. Her name's Mila. She's my oldest, and she's the vegetarian. I have a daughter, Elsie. She is almost 11, and she's not vegetarian, but she's trending that way. She's eating less and less meat the older she gets. And then I have my son, Calvin, who would eat a cheeseburger every day very happily, and he is 6. So I love being a mom. I love my children, and I want no more. Barbara asks if I work outside the home, and I do not. I am a stay-at-home mom. However, I am a stay-at-home mom that now is a work-at-home mom. Over the last several years, as I was doing YouTube, it has thankfully turned into a full-time job. Tanushree's Passion asks, why is my weight stuck? Though I am doing 72-hour fasting, left with the last 7.5 kilograms weight. There is so much that could be going on that I don't understand. If you're doing a lot of 72-hour fasts, are you potentially over fasting? Is your body honestly worried that you're starving itself? I really don't know. If I were you, I would make sure you're properly, actually giving yourself enough food for function, first and foremost. Take care of your health. And then at that point, play around with fasting schedules. I obviously do not know enough to know why you're stuck. I would try down day, up day approaches. Throwing in a 72-hour fast on occasion I think could be helpful. Don't overdo that. But there are so many things. I don't know, so you do 72-hour fast, but are you normally doing a 16-8 schedule? I could gain a lot of weight eating 8 hours a day. So be mindful of what your other hours are. 72-hour fast and then eating a lot the rest of the days is not gonna be enough for a lot of people. So I don't know what your scenario is, but my suggestions are as follows. Read, fast, feast, repeat. Give yourself time. It doesn't all have to happen immediately. And then also play around with different schedules, different protocols, different fast and eating window lengths, and keep finding it, or keep working until you find what works for you. But I am not able to give you a specific answer, sorry. Lovebug asks, what started me on intermittent fasting, and was the reason behind it just to lose weight? To spring of 2020, I told my friend I was going to do intermittent fasting, but I never started. And it was strictly to lose weight. Literally, that's all it was. after I said it, I really never took any action because it seems very daunting to give up so much of your life from eating. And it seemed overwhelming, but I knew I was interested. But then, because I told her I was gonna do that, she found a book. I don't know where she got it or introduced to it, but she found Fast, Feast, Repeat. She told me about it, and thank God the rest is history. I got the book, I immediately read it, and it changed my life. So thank you to my friend, and thank you to Jen. I love this question. This is so, so wonderful. And it's one of the last ones. So we're gonna just end on this high note. Actually, no. Joe Mama says, don't you ever get tired of starving yourself and want to splurge? Life is too short and stressful. And I know you're gonna say I splurge in my eating window. Come on, tell us you slip up and cheat in your fasting window, or else you're not honest or human. Okay, one, you're telling me if I don't answer your question the way you want me to, that I'm a liar. Okay, to you, because I don't cheat in my fasting window, because it is not stressful to me. You say that life is too short to stress. Well, guess what? To me, stressing is dieting. To me, stressing is restricting the foods that I enjoy so that I can lose weight. Or to me, stress is eating the foods that I enjoy, but also being overweight and feeling bad about myself. So intermittent fasting and doing the fast and not cheating while I'm fasting is not stressful, because guess what? I thoroughly enjoy my eating window every day. So when I have my eating window every day and I love the foods that I eat every day, that stress has gone. My life has completely transformed because I don't have the stress of dieting every day. I have the joy of eating foods that I like every single day because I choose to fast. So it's very, very easy for me to choose fasting because I enjoy my eating window. And because I enjoy my eating window, I don't feel tempted to not fast, because guess what? I have done diets and I have tried to lose weight while not fasting, and it has been too stressful and it's been extremely overwhelming mentally, and I'm not going back there. So that is what is stressful to me. And we're all individuals, so maybe what's stressful to you is not what's stressful to me. But personally, dieting was the stressful awfulness that I don't want to go back to. So fasting actually, in comparison, is really not stressful to me. Yes, there's some math to figure out on occasion, but that doesn't stress me out. It's just part of my daily life. And I thoroughly enjoy my eating window every single day, which means I don't stress about the fast. I'm so adapted to it. I love black coffee. I like water. I like iced tea. I enjoy my fast. I enjoy my eating window. It's not stressful to me. And I'm not lying. And I'm still human the last I checked. So thanks, Joe Mama. I get like salty comments all the time, and it does not bother me. The thing that annoys me is when people tell me that if I don't behave in their way that I'm not like legitimate, and that is just so annoying. So thank you for getting a rise out of me, Joe Mama. Also, starving is not knowing when your next meal is coming and not having access to food. I am very grateful that I could go anywhere, anytime, and get food if I wanted it. And I do when I want it. I'm not starving, and I'm very grateful for that. There is a difference between starvation and choosing to eat in a certain time. And yes, that is a huge difference. And I think it's ridiculous when people don't understand that. And I also believe that you're probably not an intermittent faster if you ask this question. So bye, Joe Mama. Final question. And I'm really sorry if I missed anyone's, but I don't think I did. Vidya says, I've been doing OMAD for 6 months now. I've lost 15 pounds. I added workout routine last month. I do Pilates and yoga workouts at HotWorks, but I'm gaining weight now. I look inflamed. I started down days with low carb meals and drinking more water. What else do you recommend? This is disheartening. Okay, so part of me would wonder, like, Pilates and yoga definitely can be weight training. Is the weight gain actually like fat, or are you gaining muscle? Because if you're gaining muscle, your weight is probably going to increase if all else stays the same. So first I would consider, is it muscle gain? The inflammation, I would probably, you said you're drinking water. I don't know. I definitely am someone that shows inflammation in my face. Like if I do a longer fast, my face looks so much more thin than when I'm eating regularly. So I don't really have like the best tips for that. Low carb obviously helps. And the water, those would be my recommendations. But I would be less focused on results a month in. Maybe your body's adjusting. Maybe I don't do Pilates or yoga regularly, but I would be curious, is it muscle gain? Is your tone changing? Look at inches instead of weight. But if you're feeling good and you're enjoying OMAD, I guess I wouldn't be so stuck. I don't really know why you're inflamed. Drinking the water is probably my #1 thing. I definitely think that helps me with inflammation, but I also know that when I'm eating on a daily basis, which I do include carbs in all my meals, I know that my face is like puffier than when I do longer fasts. It's just something I'm willing to deal with. So I don't really have tips on reducing that. I really want to thank every single person for participation, for dealing with my bonker eyes at the beginning when I couldn't get my nails to work and I was probably not even looking at the camera for more than 2 seconds. I appreciate the questions. I appreciate the participation. I really enjoy getting to know you guys through comments, through my lives, through these Q&As, and I feel like we're all fasting foodie friends, right? So if you missed part 1, I will link that below. I will also link to my first ever Q&A about fasting, and it was also a get ready with me, so you could maybe get some more information there. I'll see you next weekend. I'll see you live. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao and ciao.